Greetings, friends. It's Denise again with Denise's Dancing Paintbrush. And finally, I have finished, yay, the collage I was working on of the Good Shepherd. As you know, this is my photo reference. And now I'm finishing up the last little bit. The lamb and the sleeves. Also, at the end, I put on a few extras. I put in a few animals, some people. But, you know, I always do that. Because it's collage, I can add things that don't really belong and make it into a Where's Waldo type of a puzzle. You can see I have white and yellow around the edges because there is rim light coming from behind, and I needed to indicate that the light source is coming from behind them and not in front. So I'm using a lot of blue and gray in my lamb. And I needed to cut out a deep dark orange for the inside of the ear. I think that might even be too dark, but you know, whatever works. And a little orangey nose. So I had to put some white rim light around the ear as well as a blue-gray shadow inside the edge of the ear. Now, spending time on the hands, really only one hand is showing, but the other hand, the wrist is showing, so there is flesh tone there too. Also, I have been having some trouble with my camera and ended up having to order some new batteries. I'm hoping that the battery is the only problem, or maybe the battery charger has stopped working, but the main camera I have on this stopped working, and I'm using mostly the secondary camera. However, that works for the hand since the secondary camera is a little bit closer to the lower part of this collage. As I've said before, this particular piece is going to be used for our 32-hour prayer encounter at our church. It is depicting the 23rd Psalm, "The Lord is my shepherd," and the room for the prayer encounter is going to be decorated with several art pieces. This is just one of many. after the prayer encounter, I'm assuming they may want to sell this piece, so I suspect they'll keep me informed, but I've already donated it, so I won't be receiving any of the proceeds. It will go to the church, and I'm hoping to get a very good price for it. Already there's been some interest. And as you can see, I'm looking for just the right colors and tones for the shadows, the wrinkles in that shoulder in the robe that my shepherd is wearing. Also, in the photo reference, there's only one leg from this lamb showing, and I decided, yeah, he really needs two. I mean, probably one leg was, underneath the folds of the fabric and tucked under the shepherd's arm, but yeah, he really, for accuracy's sake, needed to have an extra leg, so I put one in. Now I felt that hand needed more shadows, and so I started adding a deeper color, especially in the knuckles, but then as I stood back and looked at it, it's too deep. The color's too dark, and it's not working. So that happens. I end up gluing lots of papers on top of papers to change what I thought was going to work into something better. So here's that second leg for the lamb. And a few pieces to help that hand and not look quite so dark. And this is the finished piece. My camera did quit on me, and so you didn't get some of the finishing parts of it, but you can see I've put a couple of people there in his headpiece. I've got all the words of the psalm. There's a cowboy and an Indian, an armadillo, a couple of ducks and some swans, and several faces from people and a little boy that used to live next door to me when I was 10 years old. All things I put into this piece just for fun. I sure hope that you liked it, and thanks for staying all the way to the end to see how it turned out. I appreciate all of my subscribers. If you want to see more, check out the list below and come again next week and see what I'm doing next week. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.